Salute, salute, salute to everyone. This is your boy King Jr. Got some more boxing news for y'all. So Terence Crawford has been on a hot streak in interviews. Shout out to Terence Crawford for keep on promoting the fight between him and Errol Spence. And Terence Crawford was recently in an interview, and he simply put Jermell Charlo on blast, stating that him and Jermell Charlo isn't on the same level. Him actually saying him and Errol Spence is on two different levels than what Jermell Charlo is. That Jermell Charlo simply gets beat up by Errol Spence Jr. And he said he didn't want to pull out the business, but he said that's the truth. Errol Spence is beating up on his stablemate, his friend Jermell Charlo. And Terence Crawford just simply said he didn't like the fact that he was basically saying that he ain't this, he ain't that, that Errol's gonna knock me out and all this other stuff. And that's where you guys heard the term that stop cheerleading for Errol Spence because you're gonna be next. And basically Terence Crawford said, look, when I'm done with Errol Spence, I'm coming for you next. And Terence Crawford even state that on multiple records. I want Jermell Charlo after Errol Spence. And so we know that Errol Spence is a special fighter. Not too surprised seeing Errol Spence, if Terence Crawford says that's true, not surprised seeing Errol Spence beat up on the bigger guys because I seen Errol Spence sparring heavyweights. Well, not see, but I seen pictures or photo shots of them putting Errol Spence in the ring with heavyweights. So he's basically sparring heavyweights, and Errol Spence is a special fighter. You know, he's dangerous. And I don't know if Errol Spence and Terence Crawford over exceeds Jermell Charlo's level, in my opinion. I think Jermell Charlo is a special talent, but both of those guys are special talents. I would say all three of them is nearly on the same level because Jermell Charlo, I actually watch him transcend from a boxer to a boxer puncher now, and it was amazing to see how his career went out. And also, Terence Crawford states that nobody really comes to Jermell Charlo fight. Nobody supports Jermell Charlo like that. Now, I wouldn't say support. Jermell Charlo draws a pretty decent crowd. He draws in a pretty stable crowd. Not massive names, but he draws in a pretty decent crowd. And Crawford, he draws in a little bit more people than what you draw. So you can't talk on that. But Jermell Charlo is a proven fighter. You know, he's proven. Terence Crawford did congratulate him on getting undisputed because he worked very, very hard. You know, but Terence Crawford in that interview, you know, he just simply don't like Jermell Charlo because he feels like that Jermell Charlo is a rider of too much of a fanboy and rider of Errol Spence. And, you know, he feels some type of way and he wants to smoke with Jermell Charlo. So you're going to get the smoke next, Terence Crawford, after if you're successful against Errol Spence Jr., which I don't think you're going to be. But the funny thing is, if you're saying that Errol Spence Jr. is beating up on Jermell Charlo in sparring, what do you think Errol's going to do to you? It's going to be the same result. He's going to beat up on you. But the difference is, it ain't going to be sparring. It's going to be blood. It's going to be shed. Somebody's going to the hospital. And I guarantee it, Crawford, you're going to be the one that goes to the hospital. That's just my opinion at the end of the day. I think you don't have a chance to beat Errol Spence Jr. I already told you what you should do to beat Errol Spence Jr. The only way you could beat Errol Spence Jr. is you outbox this man, which I don't think you're going to try to outbox this man for 12 rounds straight and keep on moving Errol Spence. I think you're going to get in a dogfight with Errol Spence, and it's going to be the worst decision of your life. And when something gets broken, you're going to quit on the stool. That's what I see happening. Errol's going to either snag that eye, break both of them rib cages, or hit you in the liver so hard, just like GTD did Ryan Garcia, and you're going to be up out of there. That's how I feel. Errol Spence says he's going to break your will, and I really believe he's going to break your will, Crawford, because we both know that you has never fought an opponent like Errol Spence Jr. Now, Errol Spence Jr. never fought an opponent like Terence Crawford, but at least Errol Spence Jr. was preparing himself throughout the years to fight high level after high level after high level to prepare himself for the toughest challenge coming near the future, which that's you, Terence Crawford. What have you done throughout your years? You fought guys that you exceed beyond their levels, that they was nowhere near on your level, but you wind up getting dropped by guys that's not even that you shouldn't even be getting dropped by because they're lower level fighters than what you are. So that's just my opinion at the end of the day. I just want to point this out that Terence Crawford is doing interviews. He recently stated that Jermell Charlo isn't on the same level as him and Errol Spence. He was getting beat up by Errol Spence in sparring. Jermell Charlo was. And also, he does give him his props for Undisputed. But he also states that once I'm done with Errol Spence, you're next, bro. With that being said, guys, it is what it is at the end of the day. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on your way in and on your way out. This is your boy, King Jr. We will be back with some more boxing news. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.